In the previous part of the lecture, we studied about glycolysis, the end product of glycolysis being pyruvic acid. The pyruvate has to undergo aerobic respiration for complete oxidation and release of large amount of energy stored in the substrate. So aerobic respiration is dealt with in part 3 of this lecture. Aerobic respiration occurs within mitochondria and therefore the final product of glycolysis, which is pyruvic acid, it has to be brought inside the mitochondria from the cytoplasm. Two key processes occur during aerobic respiration, which are: one, complete oxidation of pyruvate, means a stepwise exclusion of all the hydrogen atoms, leaving 3 molecules of carbon dioxide which are expelled. Second, passing the electrons which were removed as hydrogen atoms, passing off these electrons to molecular oxygen with concurrent synthesis of ATP. As these electrons are passed on, ATPs are synthesized. This oxidation occurs in the matrix of mitochondria, and the electron transfer occurs through a chain, electron transport chain, which is located on the inner membrane of the mitochondria. So pyruvate, which was formed in the cytosol during glycolysis, enters the matrix of the mitochondria and undergoes oxidative decarboxylation. That is, it is oxidized and carbon dioxide is released by a set of reactions which is catalyzed by pyruvic dehydrogenase. The pyruvic dehydrogenase requires coenzymes, coenzyme A and NAD+. Coenzyme A attaches to the pyruvate while NAD takes hydrogen atoms from one of its carbon. The deprived carbon is left behind as carbon dioxide, which is a byproduct. Pyruvate dehydrogenate facilitates the above steps, and the equation becomes pyruvic acid plus coenzyme A plus NAD plus, in presence of magnesium ions facilitated by pyruvate dehydrogenase, results in formation of acetyl coenzyme A, carbon dioxide, NADH and H+. In this step, 2 molecules of NADH are produced through metabolism of 2 molecules of pyruvic acid, which were resulting from 1 glucose of molecule. The acetyl coenzyme A now enters a cyclic pathway which is called tricarboxylic acid cycle, commonly also known as Krebs cycle after the scientist who described it, Hans Krebs. With 1 carbon already removed from pyruvic acid, the TCA cycle begins. It begins with condensation of the acetyl group which was formed in the previous step with oxaloacetic acid to yield citric acid. The reaction is catalyzed by citrate synthetase, and the molecule of CoA, coenzyme A, is then released. Citrate thus formed is isomerized to isocitrate. Isocitrate is followed by 2 successive decarboxylation steps. So remaining 2 carbons are also removed as carbon dioxide in these, leading to formation of alpha ketoglutric acid, ultimately succinyl coenzyme A. In the remaining half of the citric acid cycle, this succinyl coenzyme A is oxidized back to oxaloacetic acid, that is the beginner, thus allowing the cycle to continue. During this conversion of succinyl CoA to succinic acid, a molecule of GTP is synthesized. This is substrate level phosphorylation, which means that a high energy substrate is oxidized to low energy substrate and the released energy is used for GDP to form GTP. It may be ADP to ATP. All other ATPs are formed while the electron is being transferred through electronic transfer chain. Here the GTP is formed while oxidizing a high energy concentrate to a lower energy substrate. So GTP is formed here. So as H is removed from acids, organic acid, carbon dioxide is left behind, which is expelled. At 3 points in the TCA cycle, NADH is formed from NAD+, and at one point FADH2 is formed from FAD. For unhindered TCA cycle to continue, and we require following two conditions: a continued supply of oxaloacetic acid which is to be replenished, and a continued regeneration of NAD and FAD also. So the H atoms accepted by NAD and FAD have also to be continuously removed, which is done through electron transport system. Pyruvate loses one carbon to combine with coenzyme A and forming acetyl CoA. The carbon is removed as carbon dioxide and the corresponding H atom is removed by NAD to form NADH. This acetyl coenzyme A with remaining two carbons combines with oxaloacetic acid, which is a 4-carbon molecule, resulting in formation of 6-carbon citric acid. Citric acid now loses one molecule of carbon dioxide, so losing another carbon, subsequent formation of NADH and turning into alpha-glutaric acid, which is a 5-carbon molecule. Alpha-ketogluteric acid further loses one carbon as carbon dioxide and removing H atoms, giving to NAD, forming more NADH, as GTP is also formed, resulting in succinic acid. So you can remember that succinic acid succeeded in eliminating the last carbons also from pyruvate. So succinic acid in the remaining half of the cycle is regenerated in the way removing some extra H items. Succinic acid converted to malic acid via fumarate. Hydrogen atoms are removed. Malic acid leads to oxaloacetic acid regeneration. Another H atom is removed. So this completes the TCA cycle. So here in Krebs cycle or TCA cycle, we have 4 NADH, 1 FADH2, 1 GTP for each pyruvate. So twice the number for each glucose molecule. We can summarize the aerobic phase of respiration by the following equation. Pyruvic acid, a 3-carbon atom with 4 NAD, 1 FAD and ADPs lead to 3 carbon dioxide, 4 NADH, 1 FADH2 and ATP, 1 ATP per molecule of pyruvate. Till now we have not seen many ATPs being formed and not even any mention of oxygen. So it is actually these energy rich NADH and FADH2 which lead to the production of ATPs and utilization of oxygen as a final step. And this oxidation of NADH and FADH2 occurs via what is known as electron transport system, which shall be dealt with in the next part of the lecture.